studio owners. Welcome back to the Dance to Learn YouTube channel. My name is Jessica Strong and I am the director and owner here at Dance to Learn, and welcome to my space. I am so excited for today's video. Today I am sharing 4 books that you can incorporate into your dance classes to welcome your students back to dance. So in this week's podcast, I discuss a system called VARK. And if you don't know what VARK is, VARK goes over the 4 different types of learners. So there are 4 learning types. There's visual learners, auditory learners, the readers and the writers, and then there's also the kinesthetic learners. And I find as dance teachers and studio owners, we sometimes forget about those readers and writers that are coming into our program. So I feel that including a book in your dance classes on occasion is really gonna get those kiddos excited about dance. Plus, if we can find a fun way to recreate the story through dance and movement, then not only are we helping them get excited about reading and literacy, we're also providing them a fun and unique way to improve their reading comprehension. So I think incorporating books in dance class is such a fun and creative way to get kids excited about reading and excited about dancing. Now, I had to do a little digging because I couldn't find, my goal was to try to find books that had different genres that we could explore. And so I found a ballet book, I found a tap book, and I found a book specifically for boys in ballet. And then I'm also going to share an ebook with you today for your hip hop classes. So the first book that I am sharing today is called Florrie Flamingo's First Ballet Class. So let's talk about why I love this book. All right, so I might be a little biased about this one because this is a book that I wrote for my dance classes here at Dance to Learn, and my mom is actually the illustrator of the book. Kind of zoom in for you. So the reason why I wrote this book was I really wanted to have a book that I could fit into each part of my dance class. So what I do with this book is I will read a page and then we'll dance. Then I'll read a page and we'll dance. And it goes with us through the entire dance class. So that's one reason why I love this book. My second reason that I love this book is that it introduces a boy character, and his name is Oscar Ostrich. So if you have boys in your ballet classes, this can help them identify with another boy character that's in a story. So I love that. And while I'm not going to read Florrie Flamingo's first ballet class for you today, I am going to share a quick little summary of the book so that you can take a peek inside and decide if this is a book that you would like to incorporate in your dance classes too. So Florrie Flamingo's first ballet class. This story begins with Florrie Flamingo in her birdhouse, leaping downstairs. And Mama Mingo is there, and she asks Florrie Flamingo, who's eating her swan flakes, what she thinks about trying out a ballet class. So that gets her thinking, maybe I could be a beautiful ballerina flamingo in a tutu. So Florrie Flamingo runs upstairs where she has this huge closet full of leotards and tiaras and tutus. And she also has a huge wall of ballet slippers that she has to pick which color ballet slippers should she wear. You can see she's confused. I would be too. Next, she has to load up her dance bag with stuff she might need. Like a brush and a comb and bobby pins and hairnet, leotard and tights and shoes and tutus and a comfort bear. Oh, and her snack and a journal for corrections. And then they fly off to ballet class, and Florrie Flamingo continues to dream about being a beautiful flamingo ballerina on stage. When they get to the ballet school, they meet Bella Bear, the ballet teacher, in her first position. And when class starts, Florrie meets Oscar Ostrich and Swanilda Swan, and she's trying to figure out this thing called turnout. How do they do that with their toes? Then they try plies, and now Florrie is really confused. She looks at Oscar and is trying to figure out how to turn her feet that way. And now Tondeus, she's trying to figure out how to keep her legs straight and her toes pointed. And then jumping. Oscar Ostrich can jump so high. And Florrie Flamingo is wondering how he can jump so high, and she barely gets off the ground. Then they try some piqué turns, and Bella Bear has Swanilda Swan demonstrate. Florrie tries it. She does amazing. And they celebrate her piqué turn. And Oscar is watching. So then Bella Bear teaches Florrie her reverence. And she tells Florrie that if she keeps coming back, she thinks she can make her a ballerina. And that is the end of Florrie Flamingo's first ballet class. So that is Florrie Flamingo's first ballet class. And by the way, I have included a link to all of these books in my description, so if you want to grab one for your dance class, you know where you can find them. All right, moving on to book number 2. Now this is the book that I found specifically for tap class. And this one is called Tallulah's Tap Shoes. So Tallulah is a book series. So you may also know her from Tallulah's Tutu, or I believe it's called Tallulah's Solo, but she has a whole series of books. And I was really happy to see that she had a book specifically about tap. And what I love about this book is that it explores ballet and it compares it to tap and talks about some of the differences. So not only would this be a great addition to your tap classes, but you could also include it in your ballet tap combo classes. So I love that. I also love that, like Florrie Flamingo's first ballet class, there's also a boy in this book, and it's Tallulah's brother, Beckett, and he loves dancing too. So it's also a cute way to include those boys that you might have in your ballet tap combo classes or your tap classes. So I'm not going to read the story for you, but I will take you inside and give you a quick summary so you can see if Tallulah's Tap Shoes might be a book that you want to include in your Welcome Back to Dance lesson plans. Tallulah's Tap Shoes by Marilyn Singer and Alexandra Boiger. So it starts off with Tallulah and her brother Beckett finding out that they are going to a summer dance camp. And Tallulah's excited because she will get to do ballet every day. But she's also a little nervous because she's going to have to do tap too, and she's never taken a tap class. And Beckett is really excited for tap. So they arrive to dance camp. And on the first day of camp, they all get to try ballet. And here they're practicing their glissades. And Beckett, glissades a little too big. And Tallulah gets to practice some ballet movements. And her teacher lets her know what a wonderful job she did. And she's practicing in the dressing room, and she meets a girl named Casey. And Casey says she doesn't like ballet because it's stiff. And Tallulah says, "What? It's so elegant." But by the time she turns around, Casey's gone. So then Tallulah, she just enjoys the rest of her day doing gymnastics and swimming and having a little picnic. And she's making a friendship bracelet. And now it's time for that dreaded tap class. Beckett is really excited, but you can see Tallulah does not want to go to tap. But she goes anyway, and she puts on her tap shoes. She does not look too excited for tap. So they line up, and she's a little bored because they start making just regular taps, and she thinks this is boring, but then in the back she hears some really good tapping. She wonders, what's that all about? And it's her friend Casey. And the teacher is giving Casey a good job and giving Tallulah all the corrections. So Tallulah feels like she's the worst in tap class. So here, Casey and Tallulah sort of have a moment where once again they're discussing which one is better, ballet or tap. So the next day, Tallulah gets to take ballet class, and she gets to demonstrate rond de jambes, but then in tap class, she gets corrected, and Casey gets to demonstrate the tap rond de jambe. And you can see in this class, I'm not the best student, I'm the worst. So she just doesn't like her tap class. Then one day, Casey doesn't show up to ballet class, and Tallulah decides, well, if she isn't going to ballet class, then I'm not going to go to tap class. And she just finishes making her friendship bracelets. So back at her house, her mom tells her that they're going to have a special guest, and that the special guest goes to dance camp too. But Tallulah isn't really excited. She doesn't feel like seeing any special guests. And she's holding her tap shoes and her ballet shoes. And she practices her arabesque. And then she practices her flap, which she doesn't think is very good at all. And she says, I'm the ballet girl. I can't be a tapper. And so she takes a minute to herself, and Beckett comes and tells her, hey, someone's here for dinner. And she realizes that it's Casey, and she says, why didn't you come to ballet class? And Casey asked her, why didn't you come to tap class? And that's when they kind of realize that Tallulah doesn't think she's very good in tap, and Casey doesn't think she's very good in ballet. But then Tallulah realizes, hey, I get corrections in tap and you get corrections in ballet, but that doesn't mean we're the worst dancers. So they decide to help each other out and go back to dance camp and make the best out of both ballet and tap. And they leave dance camp wearing the friendship bracelets that Tallulah made. And now they have a special bond between them. And little Beckett tap dances all the way home. So that was Tallulah's tap shoes. Thanks for going inside the book with me. And like Florrie Flamingo's first ballet class, I also left a link for this book in the description box for you. So my next book is all about the boys that you might have in your dance classes. This one is called The Only Boy in Ballet Class. So there you can see him. He's so excited about ballet class. His name is Tucker, and he, like the book says, he's the only boy in ballet class. So here's what I love about this book, especially for boys. It does definitely touch on the benefits of ballet and dance and how a boy can take the skills learned in ballet and dance and apply it to a sport. So let's take a peek inside this book, and you guys can decide if it's a book that you would like to include in your dance classes too. So this book is called The Only Boy in Ballet Class. It's written by Denise Gruska and illustrated by Amy Wummer. And it's about a little boy named Tucker, who you can see here. He loves to dance. He dances over his cat and past his sisters and past his mom, who's drinking coffee. And he goes to school where all he dreams about is dancing. You can see his feet moving under his desk. And he knows that he's a little different. Everyone's whispering about him, but he doesn't care. So he's on his way to dance class when some boys from the football team notice him, and they kind of start teasing him a little bit, calling him names like Tippy Toe Boy, but he just keeps walking. And he makes it to dance class, and he's the only boy in dance class, but he doesn't care. He loves dancing. And on his way home from dance class, he passes the football boys again. He gets home and he sets the dinner table in his own ballet way. And his Uncle Frank shows up and says, you know what? That boy needs to be in football, not dancing around like that. But Tucker's not having it. He just says, nope, I'm gonna keep dancing. And he asks his mom what she thinks about him dancing, and she says, you know, I just want you to be happy. I love that you love dancing. And that's about when Uncle Frank decides he's gonna leave. So then, it was time for Tucker's ballet recital, which he's very excited about. And he and his Uncle Frank and his mom and his sisters walk past the football team, and you can see the football boys are in the back, and they are arguing with each other. And Tucker performs, And even his sisters stand up and clap for him. And Uncle Frank is still not convinced, and he still says he needs to be in football. So on the way home from the dance recital, the football boys stop Tucker and say, "Hey Tucker, we need one more boy on the team. Otherwise we can't play, and it's a championship game. All you have to do is stand there." And Tucker tries to say no, but Uncle Frank comes in and says he is gonna play football. So now he's gonna go play the championship football game. So there's the quarterback. He got the ball on the other team, but the ball slips out of his hands and right into Tucker's. Everybody says, "Tucker, run as fast as you can." So he runs as fast as he can, and right before somebody's about to tackle him, he does a pirouette, and a grand jeté, and an assemblée, and a chaîné, and he danced so far that he was almost in the street, and that's when everybody stopped him and said, "Hey, you can stop, because we won." And the football boys were so happy with Tucker's performance, they all started chanting, "Tucker, Tucker, Tucker." So the next day at ballet class, Tucker notices all of these athletic shoes. That's when he sees the boys from the football team in ballet class. So he's not the only boy in ballet class anymore, but he sure was the happiest. And the book ends with a nice list of ballet terms that you can review with your class. So there you have it. That is The Only Boy in Ballet Class. Such a cute book. And I linked this one in the description box for you guys as well. So the last book that I want to share with you is an ebook, and I have it pulled up on my iPad, and it is called Bitsy Bop Wants to Hippity Hop. Don't know if you guys can see that. But here's what I loved about this one. It is a hip-hop focus for the genre, which I have not shared. Most of these have been ballet or tap. So this one goes into hip-hop. But what I love about this story is it really talks about going after your dreams and not being afraid to really, if you want to be a dancer and you want to do hip-hop or you want to do ballet, just chase your dreams and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. So this is a really great book. I'm going to take you inside the book for a quick little summary as I share this one with you. So this is called Bitsy Bop Wants to Hippity Hop. And there is Bitsy. And she loves hip-hop. And her mom is hoping maybe this is just a phase. She dances everywhere, and her dad lets her know that she can be whatever she wants to be and always go after her dreams. So she's dreaming about her big talent show. Mom and Dad are really nervous. She is super excited. The crowd is chanting for her. There she is dancing her grooves. The crowd is still chanting. And she does a huge flip, lands in the splits, and the crowd goes wild, and her parents go wild. And the end of the book just talks about chasing your dreams. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't be who you want to be. And that's the end. So that was Bitsy Bop Wants to Hippity Hop. Again, I have linked all of these book titles for you in the description box, so if you would like to have them for your classroom to welcome your dancers back to dance, you know where you can find them. I found all of these books on Amazon, so they are pretty easy to get a hold of. And if you haven't yet, I do encourage you to go listen to this week's podcast where I share some tips and tricks on how to really stimulate all of those 4 learners, your visual, auditory, reading and writing, and kinesthetic learners in each and every class so we can all really focus on whole child dance education. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this week's video, please give it a thumbs up. And also let me know in the comments if there is a particular dance book that you like to include in your dance classes to welcome your dancers back to dance. I am always growing my library of dance books, so please share your favorites with me in the comments down below. Thanks again for joining me. My name is Jessica Strong, and I'm the director and owner here at Dance to Learn, and hopefully I will see you guys at my next video. Bye!